Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. This is the audio test. We will be starting soon. Please let me know if any of the commentators this week are a little too loud or a little too quiet. We want all of us to be about equally as loud, and the game should be just barely audible. If there are any recommendations that you would like to provide, please feel free to do so. We want the stream to be just perfect for you. Hey.
What's
good?
Crack-a-lackin'?
Alright. Fight me in this
Alright.
game. I haven't touched fighting games in a minute just because flying to places. It'll be interesting.
Alright. Yeah, I gotta get to the dry cleaners before they close at 5, so that's my only.
I mean, it's the shortest stream in the history of Skullgirls Get Gr8, so I mean.
Alright, bet. I'll be back later tonight if you want to chill and whatever, because my girlfriend ain't coming over this weekend. But,
Today, probably not, just because I already have plans, but maybe tomorrow? I don't know, it depends. GDQ is happening, and I'm obsessed with that shit.
Oh, word. Yeah, I know you don't want to see my Julia, you know what I'm saying? Can't even do the basic combo yet.
Wait, did you set up your PS4?
I have it set up. It's just, like, I'm not sure how good the internet is here.
We tried it a few times. We were able to play games.
But that was on PC, so.
Oh, okay. Is that,
you know what I'm saying?
Is that much worse?
I don't know. That's why, like, I need to figure. Like, I played a couple games of DBFZ on the PS4, and it wasn't like great. But that's when I played Reynold, and got my ass destroyed. I got my ass to be asteroid. You know what I'm saying? Can't believe that's his fucking name. It's so great. Also, my arms are like super shaky right now. But,
Oh, because of the workout?
yeah, because I just came back. But we'll see.
All right. How's everyone in chat doing today? Sit tight, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let us know if anything's weird about the audio, if anyone's too loud or too quiet.
Alright, let's see if you got this round start.
Quiet on the set. Let's rock.
No. I do not have this round start.
Ah, fuck. Okay. I'm dead. Sorry, I'm dead.
Oh my god.
Oh, what? Where's my DHC? I tried to do that instant. Ah, fuck, I fucked up. Oh, never mind.
I did. Okay. You still can't play double. This is good.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Damn, were you actually in the air? That's crazy. Oh my god, what was that autocorrect?
Oh,
Did you see that shit? She jabbed both directions.
I don't know.
Oh, this isn't enough, fuck. Whatever.
Ah.
Yeah, but it's not enough, I forgot. Eliza doesn't actually do that much damage.
At full on does it? Of course it doesn't. It probably would have killed if you did DHC early. Shit, I'm fucked. Nah, I can't carry.
Yeah, dude. That big bang combo drop was so tragic. You're about to get put in the blender. That's all this team does. I get the hit with big band, and then you fucking explode.
One last one.
Oh, okay, you figured it out. You figured out the unblockable round start. Can't believe this.
Alright, let's thunder. Blunder. Alright, got it.
That wasn't even the blunder, I fucked that up.
You even need to DHC to get the
I want double for this.
Okay.
There's no way you're winning this matchup.
Shit. Oh my god.
I hope you realize I did that 3 times, right?
I held left and I held right and then I held up and none of them worked.
Well, I did the cross under, you know, assist, and then I did cross up air grab, and then I did those 3 times in a row, and you didn't block a single one.
Well, the A train, incoming one, I was mostly focused on just figuring out what side that A train was hitting me on. I held left. I held left, like cross up, didn't block it. Held right, didn't block it. Held up, didn't block it. I'm just like, okay, you just do something differently that I didn't notice. Like at some point, did not cross
I'm literally doing flash step with the assist macro, so the timing like's not different at all.
All right, I'm gonna just assume I fucked up real bad somewhere because I always do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we sound good to go. Let's see, Smexy voice time. Wait, GDQ is happening. GDQ is happening this Sunday. Is there more room? Train wheels, you can get in. We don't really need an open lobby slot, but I'm sure we can find an opponent for you.
Yeah.
Else. Alright, everyone says it's good. We seem to be good to go. I'm digging it. In that case, let's go ahead and right away jump into the first match. Since we have a few matchups, or only a couple of matchups today, we'll probably, what's it called? Have like a Q&A afterwards if people have questions or want to see something. I know there was one player who wanted to see... It was Meta. Meta wanted to see like raw tag combos or like at least the science behind it. How to figure out how raw tag combos work. I can talk about that at a high level. I don't have any. I mean, I have one, but like they're not generally used for various reasons.
Do I have any? I don't think so. But my characters don't. One, you can't convert off big band raw tag unless you have like extra height, which is like next to impossible on most characters.
You can convert off of double raw tag though, and you can combo into it with band.
Yeah, but like I would never do that.
that's
like I don't do raw tag combos because I don't think they're good. Certain teams have uses for them, but I don't think they should be a cornerstone of anyone's set play, although some people try to do that, I know. But I don't, especially pinwheel players, they typically do that. But yeah, we can get into that later.
How to learn dumb blender shit with your assists? I will explain afterwards. Right away, though, we're going to go ahead and try to get Silent Shot 2000 and Rubik's Cubed into this lobby. I don't see either of them in chat,
with your assist is just holding up forward and pressing the assist button. That's literally every character in this game has an unreactable cross up that's safe by doing up forward and assist, like off of a restand or something, right? Because you're blocking the entire time except for like your few pre-jump frames. But most people, if you're doing a restand, you're probably plus enough that they can't actually reversal you out of it.
I mean, it depends. Like some of the best assists that won't work with, like A-Train assist, doesn't blend people on the ground. You can make it work in the air.
It beats all up backing though, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like most of the time, yeah, you do just some sort of cross up plus assist, and it's like, you know, it's super free, which is why like game like Dragon Ball like went out of its way to make sure that's not a thing that you can do, because like that kind of becomes a lot of tag games is like just unreactable cross ups by calling assist and jumping over them or like dashing under them. Yeah. And like that's like and then like infinite, obviously, like you couldn't do that because there weren't really assists. Like, so you could cross up, but it was like you would just block the point character while the other character like kept them locked down with some active switch move.
It's just like you think about
So
jumping over and then calling the assist button to make whatever you do after you jump over safe, and then it's like, okay, now you have the fundamentals of a vortex. Now how can you keep looping into that and not be like too much on Dizzy positive so you can make it work over and over and over again? Then you just melt people.
Someone needs a lobby link again. That.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share the links. Give me just one moment, guys.
Yeah, because like, and it depends on what assist you're using too. Like, if you have like Seracopter, like yeah, go ahead and use it. But like there's certain, but like even then, it's like the optimal like you'll get a lot more damage off of Seracopter for just like putting it in your last string usually, right? But like I know a lot of double players like to do flesh step copter because it creates like this gap or whatever. But then like you do like like cross up to like pillar. That's really different, right? Because like they really can't do anything about it because it's an invincible assist. So it really depends, right? Like you're not gonna mix someone up with like your pain wheel assist, but you have more ability to with like most of the big band assists, like. Or like DP assists and stuff like that. Like those are like usually better for mixing up or doing like actual set play with, as opposed to like like if you have like Fuqua drill or something. I wouldn't recommend making that like the complete cornerstone of your gameplay unless you're gonna play like JP does and like have a really like risk averse play style.
Hey there, Yo-Yo. How you doing? Star Variant, we can't give it to... I would not recommend Dry start practicing that right now, just because Dry still needs to focus on his fundamentals with band. He's still struggling with OTG/soundstun management, and also...
Also, I don't give out the jutsu.
Also, he doesn't give out the jutsu.
Yeah, I never gave you the jutsu, did I?
You did. You gave me... I have 2 videos of you playing the jutsu to me. It's just private on YouTube somewhere.
Oh man, you recorded that shit?
I told you I was recording it because like I needed it. I was using it for my own self. I wasn't gonna share it, but like I need to understand how the fuck this game works.
Yeah, so you're one of 2 people who, well, Lightning's heard some of it, just like from being around a lot. But yeah, like Tom's gotten it and you've gotten it. You know what I'm saying? But like anyone else, the curse seal will just overtake their entire body. And their chakra will be actually like thrown off balance and sealed. So, I can't just be giving that out, for the good of the ninja world. I can't be giving out that jutsu. I'm sorry. Alright, where's this other dude?
Rubik's Cube is private on Steam, and I don't know where I can add them. I'm gonna see if they're in the Discord. They do not seem to be in the Discord.
Yeah, but also like the jutsu, you need to like kind of know what you're doing already. Not like be good, because no one's good at this game really, but like you need to like you need to be able to like understand like even if like someone has an opinion you don't agree with in the game, you need to be able to understand immediately like where it's coming from in terms of like game perspective. You know what I mean? Like you need to understand the rationale like in the context of this game for like most things that people say. That's why, like, I disagree with like a lot of people's opinions in the game, but it's like I see why you think that's good. I think you're like 1,000% wrong, but like the internal logic is consistent.
Unrelated. If anyone wants to join in and just fight on shot, preferably a relative beginner, like someone who has a few.
Yo, that's me.
Absolutely not.
That's me. Put me in, coach.
If you were playing your controller upside down and like, I don't know, the character you don't know, Solo Valentine.
Dude, I was telling you about how I was doing that something with like in Skullgirls with one hand. Remember that shit?
I have no recollection of this. No.
I think I was doing like brass assist conversions with like one hand because like I was just like laying down and like sitting on my arm or something, and I was like, let's see if I can just do this like with just my pinky hitting the stick and my thumb hitting the buttons.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Pinky hitting your stick. Oh, with your left hand.
Yeah, because I have to like stretch. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm left-handed, so.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Anyone else want to hop in here? I don't remember how much you've played Dirt, but if you want to hop in here, I guess you can. Or Dirt volunteers as tribute for training wheels. I don't know who else. Training wheels, you are not a
Yeah,
beginner.
Bucky is a fucking beginner. Fuck that guy.
Damn. Called out.
We're all fucking beginners. We all suck at this game.
I still think that has to do with a confidence issue more than anything, dude. You're like actually really good at this game. You refuse to call yourself good.
I'm terrible at this game, dude. I have like no
That's
idea
my
what I'm
point.
doing
My point
most of the
exactly.
time. No, like I actually don't make like good decisions in this game. It's all just like execution bullshit that people don't know how to deal with. And I don't even have execution anymore. I went to Salty and I like fucking got destroyed because like I can't fucking convert things anymore.
All falls apart.
Yeah, dude.
What if you're a beginner at fighting games at Get Great? You're a beginner at fighting games. Wait, at fighting beginner. You're a beginner at fighting beginners at Get Great. Yeah, sure, go for it. Jared, if you want to hop in here, just go ahead.
Can someone get in here? I have stuff I need to do today.
I'll just queue up against Silent Shot and give him a tutorial if no one gets in.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Alright. We're going tutorial mode. Let's go.
Yeah, like anyone can get better at this game. Like that's the thing. But like I think most people are pretty bad at this game. But like I have like very much like stopped. I've gotten much worse at this game. Actually, I'm worse than I used to be at this game. But like I like very much have not even like tried to get better. So it's not even like a like I don't mean like John or anything. It's just like yeah, people are like actually playing the game and like trying their hardest, and I'm not. So like of course I'm gonna get destroyed. Like that's how this works. You don't get to be like, oh, I could beat you. It's like nah, like. But you didn't.
I mean, the only way I can really justify you saying that everyone's bad at this game is if you define good as pushing the ceiling of this game. People stop pushing the ceiling of this game after a while. You can count on one hand the number of people who are trying to do that.
No, not even that. I just think like, again, like we've been over this.
Yeah, we have. I don't know why I picked both characters. This is fine.
Do you manually pick both characters?
No, I macroed. I just autopiloted. I didn't want to pick.
Yeah, otherwise don't, because otherwise you have to focus on like doing shit with characters you're not familiar with instead of paying attention.
Okay.
No, like actually play him, don't bait him.
Well, no, this is tutorial mode. This is what I want to do. Well, I mean, I can play him just in like, in terms of like, I can just
play him so he knows
if I
what he
want
has
to, but that's not the point.
Well, play him so he knows what he has to deal with for the most part. If you're just running away from him, he's gonna only let him move forward. And that's good if you're playing Peacock, but you're not. Damn, medium reset?
Yeah, because you can power cancel. Or not power cancel, stagger the cancel.
Yeah. Do you even have the frames for that, though? Like, could Fortune jab out of that?
So if you go light punch into crouching medium kick, you can cancel at almost any frame window you want to. Which kind of lets you make it as tight or as loose as you want it to.
Like, I mean... Yeah, I mean, the thing is like Stancil reset, so it's completely mashable.
Well, oh, you mean Stancil into medium reset?
I'm Stancil into anything reset, it's completely mashable.
Yeah, it's completely mashable.
That's the thing. That was the thing. Is like everyone's like, oh my god, you're so good against squiggly players. I'm like, I am just mashing. They don't do resets. I'm like, oh, squiggly hits me, mash. They reset me on the ground. But like, I was like, of course. And I was like, oh man, you're really good at the squiggly match. I'm like, bitch, what?
So speaking of mashing, these are a couple of things I want to point out to you, Silent Shot. So Silent Shot, you gotta mash more. There were a lot of resets I did to you while you were still grounded. There's a lot of buttons you could be pressing there. Even in the air, Fortune is one of the best air resets in the game. You also need to block low more. I just kept on going low, and I was like, you need to start paying attention where you're getting hit.
Punch move.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said you should have done the punch move there. But yeah, like, with this stuff, like, you gotta kind of know when to block. This is, like, kind of annoying, obviously, but, like, this is the character in the game. I think one of the strongest characters in the game, so get used to it. And Crank's terrible at this character, so, like, get used to this. But, yeah, like, the thing is about, like, going in this game is that, like, it is the greatest way to, like, force advantage, or get advantage and make it your turn, and your turn in this game can be something that persist till the end of the game. But does that not hit the head? What the fuck? But that's gonna hit. Oh yeah. So like, you have to be careful about it though, because also like approaching in this game is one of the most dangerous things you can do, because obviously then the other person has access to the like layers of invincibility frames that this game has available to almost every character. So you just gotta think about that and like think about what your character can do. Think about how fast you can like actually run up and hit a light button. Like things like that. Like that's what you gotta think is like the easiest way to break it. Also, can you kick this guy? Who the fuck is this?
I have no idea who this is. They've already read it up, so I can't kick him.
Fuck. Well, I guess you're playing this guy. What's it called? So like the easiest way to break down is like, all right, especially since you play Forge, is like, how can I get next to him and like how can I hit him with a jab? It's like because like that's the fastest fucking thing. And it's like, oh, well, then I have to get close to him. It's like, oh, he's not going to let me get close to them. Or like, oh, that's too easy to block. So then how do I run up and hit him with a low? Because it's only slightly slower. It's like, oh, well, I can't get close to him. So then how do I hit him with like a longer range move and stuff like that? And the whole situation just like extrapolates from that sort of like thinking. Yeah. At least for me.
I mean, that's footsies. That's neutral in general. That applies to all games.
Yeah, and that's how you should think about it. And so that's like when you start thinking about your character. Like, so Fortune has, jump roundhouse, right? So that's a really long range move, but it's like fucking slow and the hitbox is really wonky. So it's like, okay, like what are the spacings at which I should use that? How do I get into those spacings? What are Fortune's movement options? Because Fortune's the only character in the game with a double jump and an air dash, but her air dash kind of fucking sucks, and all that sort of shit, And then again, like you have to start, and then you start learning matchups about like, okay, well, what can this character do to do it? And the answer in this game is always they have an invincible move that'll convert into a full combo, but like. So that's kind of just how to think about it. Also, learn a combo, because otherwise you have to do that a million fucking times to win a game instead of like 2 or 3.
Even more than the damage, it just makes you. I feel like, especially in Skullgirls, I've heard this from a lot of people all the time, where learning a B&B is the fastest way to get familiar with the character's tools and links, because you're not gonna. Like, when you are done blocking your opponent's attack and you feel like you can punish them, you can throw a standing light punch, but after that, what, right? Like, you don't know any of that information about your character. So learn a B&B. You can find not the most optimal B&Bs, but B&Bs that are good for at least learning your character at the B&B Compendium, !B&B. Check it out.
Also, yeah, you gotta learn what your character does, because you don't seem to know what Headless does, but you keep taking the head off. Might be accidentally, but, yeah,
I was gonna point that out last game for sure. That you were throwing your head out, but you were like making zoom in the wrong directions. It made me rethink that you didn't actually know how to use the head. Keep in mind, you can hold the HP button to like walk your head around. There's like head slides and stuff. Your what's it called? Your DP behaves differently when you're headless.
Penguin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can
get him out of here. Yeah, get him out of here.
This lobby's private. I think I have too many people on my buddy list.
Yeah, stop. Okay, I gotta kick more people because I never ask anyone for sets anymore. So like, I gotta just take everyone off my fucking friends list. Like, I don't need to be friends with Elda Toluda anymore. I'm never gonna play him again. Like, if I do, it's on quick match. Like, I'm never like, so it's only to say GG if I play him. Same with like Spike. So, like, I'm never gonna go like play a set with him.
I just don't have the time to go through and clean out my friends list. Like, I don't know.
That's true. Pen was last online.
We're doing 5 matches or 2 matches today. We're doing 5.
Are you sure you said this to private?
Yeah. I mean, I'll make the lobby again. Oh no, there are 0 private slots today. This explains everything.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you didn't do it.
I fucked up. That's what you're hearing. Alright, one more once. Let's try this.
Alright, let's do it again. It's almost 2 o'clock. Ugh, my legs are tired. That's the fucking problem with like me trying to lift weights. It's like I'm so because you saw me, you know how fucking skinny I am. So like to do any sort of strength training, I get way tired before like I work up a sweat.
how to get us up somewhere. I mean, you can start with cardio. At least it'll help you at least get your body warm.
Yeah, but it's so fucking inefficient. Yeah, but so inefficient for fucking calorie burning.
Very true.
It's like I don't have like fucking 3 hours to like run like 20 miles.
Yeah, but if you don't start sweating and you don't start feeling the pain, like your muscles are never gonna do anything anyway. So
yeah,
in a way, it's like actually more efficient just because you're not getting anything done otherwise.
Yeah, no, like I ran a mile. Well, I mean, I'm actually like building. I'm like working my muscles. It's just like I'm not actually like doing like general fitness stuff. But I ran a mile while I was there too. So, but it like took forever. It took like, cause I'm fucking slow. I fucking hate running. It took me like, fucking like 13 minutes.
Okay, you're blocking low at least. That's cool.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do the fucking.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Oh, yeah, I was like, you're just gonna.
Alright, good. You are blocking low. So in general, you almost always want to block low unless you see your opponent in the air. Because unless I'm... Oops. Oh, I messed up there.
Yo, I just had the fucking stupidest fucking thought. Like, so like you did that like dive kick from like really high up, like so that like it was super reactable. And it's like, oh damn, he should have 2H'd that. Fuck.
I hear people say that in all fighting games at this point. I mean, it's obviously a joke, but I wonder how many people actually just make that mistake where it's like, nah, I just been playing too much.
Yeah, like I literally thought, I'm like, oh, he could have 2H'd that. I'm like, wait, that's not a thing in this game. He could have DP'd
no dedicated
that.
anti-air buttons, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, you have DPs, which that's what they are.
Sort of. I mean, like, Squiggly's DP is horrible for anti-air.
Yeah, but like, I mean, Squiggly's DP is horrible, is the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, most DPs are anti-air buttons. Because that's the idea. Like, someone explained this to me really well once. He's like, the reason like most ground attacks are air unblockable in anime games is because like jump-in fucking moves have insanely good hitboxes. Like, and like the angles they cover, and so they'll beat out like grounded normals most of the time, which is why like, so to eliminate the like mix-up of like empty jumps and shit, most ground attacks in anime games are air unblockable, and then you have dedicated like invincible anti-airs if you want to actually like, hit them out of a jump in. Or, you know, you can just be like Street Fighter and you can't block in the air.
So, a couple of things. This move hits full screen. That's just something that's going to come in terms of knowledge of a game like really, really fast. This is the heavy version hits all across the ground, and if you're on the ground, you will get hit, and you will be put into a knockdown state. Also uses Big Band Down Stun. If you don't know what that means, that's okay for now. But you need to understand like how to play around your opponent's character. Don't watch your own character too much. Like right now, you're just walking backwards and waiting to be able to punish something. But there are a lot of things you could have punished that you're not punishing. So instead of playing defensive, just start throwing out your buttons so you understand how to use them. Like there, that you could have punished that. You also probably noticed that I was trying to do... the main thing I was trying to demonstrate with this is like what happens when I punish your head. You went headless, and then I was just able to hit your head when it was around me, like over and over and over again. That's the danger of playing headless. Don't play headless until you know how to really use it. The head takes 50% damage and your body takes 100% damage. So if they're both being hit at the same time, you'll take 150% damage from a standard combo. That's super risky.
Also, the combos are like significantly harder than head-on, more situational, and typically do less damage unless you really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you lose the invincibility on your DP.
Yeah, that's the big one. At least at this level, the big thing is losing invincibility on DP. If you're not familiar with what DPs are...
No, the big thing is losing jump fierce. Are you kidding me?
What do you lose from it? Wait.
Jumping heavy punch.
Yeah, jumping heavy punch.
Because your heavy punch controls the head.
Right.
So you lose like your fucking best button.
Damn, I feel real stupid. That is
I mean,
true.
Real Fortune players use light kick into Elgato, but I'm fucking terrible, so.
You feel abysmal about the way you played? No, don't worry about it. You're totally fine. That was 5 matches. Yes, that is correct. So, don't feel horrible how you played. It's not about showing off the best you can do and all that stuff. It's about me being able to give you feedback on what you're doing wrong right now so you can focus on practice on making sure that you're not doing that wrong in the future, right? So, it's not about doing well. It's about figuring out why what you're doing is not good.
Yeah.
So, a few things...
The name of the game is improvement.
Yeah.
Not short-term winning. Because, like...
Exactly.
You know, if you want, I can ready up, drop the controller and let you win, but you wouldn't feel good about how you played either. So like, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, make sure you watch the VODs. I want to re-skim, because there were just a lot of distractions, I want to skim over a lot of the things we talked about. Learn to use your normal space. You get hit a lot just because things outreach you, or you don't press buttons when you could reach your opponent. A big, good button for you is Standing Light Punch, just because it's the fastest button in the game, actually, other than the command grab that Bella has, but it's one of the fastest buttons in the game, and it reaches far, and it's also a good way to start combos. Learn a combo. Go learn a B&B. It's important. Can you play this game fine with a keyboard? Yes, but I recommend using hitbox layout. People play with a WASD layout, and I don't recommend it, like a WASD layout. Not recommended. Use a hitbox layout that is ASD, and then instead of W for up, you press space for up. And
nah, be like Korean wrestling, man. Reverse WASD box.
Reverse WASD box. Why is it called a reverse WASD box? Is it just because the arrow keys are high up?
No, because the 4 keys are on the right side.
Isn't that just the normal up, down, left, right arrow layout?
Yeah.
Why is it called a reverse WASD box?
Because normally people play WASD.
I guess that's true, but like, I don't know, whatever.
And you're not gonna call it arrow box. Because it's literally a WASD box, but side switched.
Okay, so the WASD keys are like high up, so to speak, on the box.
Yeah, they're level with each other, just like they are on a WASD box.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, fine.
You know, like.
Yeah. Long story short, yes, you can make keyboard work, but mimic a controller that is better for fighting games in general. If you want to play WASD, like, people make it work, don't get me wrong, but it's not... I personally don't recommend it. If that's what you're comfortable with, then that's fine.
Yeah, what do people use, ASD spacebar or something?
ASD spacebar, yeah. Makes quarter circle movements and also just full circle movements.
What the fuck do they use for the buttons, then?
I use numpad. If they're playing on, like, something that doesn't have a numpad, then home row, JL, K, and NM, period.
That's fucking crazy. My friend, once I was at a party, and he had Tekken 7, and he's like, he plays, like, he's better than we are, obviously. He's, like, red rank. But nice. I was like, oh, cool, like, I like, play Tekken, like, fucking casually. He's like, oh, cool, man, like, you want to play? I'm like, sure. And he's like, cool. And, like, he fucking, like, sits down at the key, like, he just has, like, a fucking keyboard to play on, and I'm just like, bruh. But I fucking did King down forward 1 into buffer giant swing, and so I'm a fucking legend.
Nice.
First try. First fucking try.
And only.
You know how hard... Dude, because you know the input for giant swing, right? It's forward, half circle, forward. Doing that on a fucking keyboard when you fucking never done it before is crazy hard.
I don't know. It's pretty... I don't know. Because, like... On a keyboard especially, like, on a stick it's at least a little bit slower, but, like, at least you have the, you know, you're familiar with the stick. On a keyboard, it's just DASD. And then D again, I guess. Like, it's...
Really?
Yeah, forward, half circle forward.
I just did it by feel. Like, I was just like, I gotta hope I'm hitting the diagonals here.
Yeah, that's just exactly what I mean, though. It's like, it's one of those things where on keyboard, you could probably do it on accident. Just because how fluid the movement would be on the keyboard. Unrelated. Back to this thing.
Someone's just getting caught in the headlights.
Alright, got caught by incoming air grab.
That was reactable. Because if he's standing at that distance, he can't hit you with a normal. So, but that's something that's like a game experience thing. Because you're like, oh, like I can't get hit there, so only grab, or like if they're gonna scalpels me on incoming.
Yeah. Even on the most trivial level, you can always say it's a 50-50. They're gonna either hit you or grab you. You can just option.
Yeah, but he couldn't hit you from there. Is what I'm saying. He couldn't unreactively hit you from there, so it's not.
Yeah. What I mean is just like if you didn't know that, if you didn't have the game experience to know that, you could also just option select. Like, there's only 2 things they could do there.
Also, that was probably a misinput that you did down medium punch in the air, but yeah, you want to be doing the medium punch. You get it. I'm sure that was an input error. Oh, was that supposed to be a tricky same side? Because you got to threaten the cross up first. Everyone's blocking same side the first time.
A standard set against an opponent that you haven't fought before, always assume that they're going to expect you're hitting the same side, so they're just gonna hold back. If you do cross-up, then that demonstrates the threat. You start telling them, hey, I'm willing to go cross-up, then same side stuff works.
I forgot to go team start. You can play whatever you want. If you want to play a team, play a fucking... If you really want the game that newbie friendly, I mean, it's as newbie friendly as any other fighting game in that it explains to you what all the mechanics are, as opposed to like other games where you like really don't know, like fucking, like good luck figuring out how shit works in like Street Fighter if you haven't played Street Fighter or like watched or have an understanding of Street Fighter.
Same with
Guilty Gear doesn't really explain to you how mechanics in that game like interact with each other.
Yeah.
But tutorials in most modern fighting games are like really better, or except for Tekken. Tekken like literally explains nothing to you. Tekken doesn't have a tutorial.
Yeah. Harada actually had a reason for not putting a tutorial in. It wasn't a good one. I don't remember what it was.
Who did?
Harada, the guy who made.
Was it "Don't ask me for shit"?
Something along those lines.
Fucking love that.
Such a great thing.
He entered Evo, man. That's fucking great. He entered another tournament too, like more recent. No, he was at Fighting Tuesday, the Japanese weekly, and Rangshu was there, and he played Rangshu in like a first to 5 or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think the producer for Dragon Ball also like entered Evo last year.
That's cool. I mean, that's how it should be, right? Like the people who are making these games should be people who actually want to play them.
I mean, they're there anyway, right? Because they'll do whatever Evo announcement it is.
Yeah.
But I don't expect the director, like, Harada probably does play because, like, he's been involved for a while, but this person I don't think, like, has worked on, like, fighting. So, like, you don't need to be a top fighting game player to be, like, a game director on a fighting game.
True.
At least I don't think so. Mike Z probably has some opinions on that. Because, I mean, games where they've just, you know, hired top players to be, like, you know, to work on the team haven't worked super well. What's the meme? Is like Ogawa ruined Street Fighter V or something.
Well, back to your question, Little Lev. This game isn't like this game is newbie friendly in that like execution for combos is a little bit easier, but it still has like all the fundamental aspects of neutral. It still's got like the difficulty of the game. Still's got hard links if you want to do them. Because they're more optimal.
This game is one of the easiest that like a better opponent will like literally like completely fuck you also.
Right.
Like in like Street Fighter or something, like you can get a couple hits in because like if you just like make a DP read and then like make a grab read or something, like you can actually like, play against someone who's a lot better. You'll still get washed, but like you'll feel like you can play. This game, like someone who's like significantly better than you will like make you feel like you might as well not have like interacted the game. Like this game, you can like really get fucking washed in this game. So like in terms of like the gameplay, it's like not super noob friendly because like a skill gap can be like really felt. But in terms of like learning the game, it's one of the easier to learn for sure. Which is why you hear that so much, is that like it's really easy to pick up the basics of this game. But yeah, this game can be one of the more discouraging to like actually play if you're just trying to like play a fighting game and don't find it inherently fun, but don't play the game then because these are games.
Yeah. It's hard to practice in something you don't find inherently.
Yeah, which is why I stopped playing Skullgirls. But yeah, also like so for Robot, because we're not giving you a lot of advice, I'm sorry about that. Like you're getting a little gun shy. Like you're playing Filia, right? So you should be pressing the initiative. Who's picking Painwheel? You spelled glossary wrong, missing though. What's it called? So like you should be trying to take the initiative because like double doesn't necessarily like beat you round start, right? So that's the thing, like you're playing like really, really passively, and that's why you're eating all the mix-ups and stuff. Even like he's hitting you with resets that aren't like frame tight that you can react to. Did your game crash too?
I'm at 0 seconds. That hasn't crashed yet.
Yeah, I just got in, but the counter's still ticking down in the game.
Yeah, I see that too.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad this game's finished being patched.
Very well.
I'm also glad Yaya's dead.
Can't believe Yaya's dead.
Yeah. But what's it called? Yeah, like you're playing like really passively. Also, I don't hate that team, even though it has Valentine and Painwheel on the same team. I don't hate that team.
Why so?
It's just interesting. Feels like. Oh, did I call you missing? No, my bad. Fucking. I don't know. Like, and you know I hate Valentine, but like. The team seemed to like do something different. Oh, is the lobby broken? You want to make a new lobby?
Yeah, I guess I'll make a new lobby.
This lobby might be fucked. But I mean, personally, I would play it in a different order. But I think like those three characters, like you could do something interesting with that trio. I don't think it's a like particularly good team. I think it's just like, you know, interesting. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Trios are really like the only way to, yeah, maybe he restarted or something. Trios like the only real way to play like super interesting teams in this game. I'm like realizing.
Who?
Trios.
Trios. I mean, sort of.
Otherwise, you're just playing point character plus assist. Like,
well, when you're playing solos, you at least can probably get away with almost every character in the game. So emphasis on almost. Whereas, like, when you're playing duos, you're just playing at a disadvantage. When you're playing a trio, there's like almost always a way to improve your team, and that's by adding one of the best 2 or 3 characters in the game onto your team.
Oh, yo, my tier list is different now, by the way, because it's more focused around like making a good team as opposed to like which characters are good in like the metagame. So like I don't think Big Ban's the worst character anymore.
Just because metagame's so based around damage.
Well, it's based around like least amount of turns possible, while not completely sacrificing neutral.
I see.
So like that's why like Sarabella and Double have gone down a lot, and Peacock's gone like up a lot, and Beowulf went up a lot also. Okay. Stuff still thinks Fuku is like one of the best characters in the game, and I'm like, you're so wrong. I was like, don't get the Kenji matchup mixed up with the Fukua matchup. Oh, you could have got the
stuff regularly.
I played him 2 weeks ago offline, but he was learning hitbox, so.
Oh, okay.
Also, I played Philia.
Oh, you played your Philia too.
Yeah. But he's like learning a new character and playing hitbox. You could have converted off that, by the way. But yeah, see, you're playing a little bit more actively and you're getting the hits now, which I think is good. Also, your reset game needs a lot of work. First bait. That was interesting. H viewer assist. I don't hate it. Like I've seen people use it because it's like a really, really shitty version of A-Train, and it's like really, like. What else are you gonna use with Painwheel, especially with Valentine? Like viewers or Pinion's gonna do absolutely fucking nothing for you. As far as meta, you're playing like really, really like afraid once you like. Oh, you didn't have to. You could have converted that with buttons.
I guess you kind of
like
want that.
I would say like don't flowchart your buttons as much. Oh, you got it. Because like you're kind of just like trying to get him to like walk into your buttons as opposed to taking the initiative, and like I know that's kind of Valve's thing, but if you're not full screen, you have to kind of play a bit more of a adaptive game style as opposed to kind of the non-interactive thing. Again, that's a good like tack to take, is like to try and get back to that, like if you want to, but like once they're near you like that, the buttons you're pressing are kind of like not situationally appropriate. Pick your team. What's your team training wheels on ice? On ice, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, Oni CE? It's hard with twitching because there's no space separation, so it's hard to like parse, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I used to make the same mistake. I just called it once and I just assumed that there was a 1 in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Akfan. Yeah, this matchup's annoying for like both characters. But now that he's in the corner, yeah. You're done, son. So both of you were kind of going for like anti-air game there, and the reason Robot won that is because he spaced a little better around it. Because again, like Bella has a spacing advantage right at the mid screen, right? Because you can't charge nails and you can't charge a hatred guard, even though Bella will just grab you out of the hatred guard anyway. So that's why like you saw he didn't like run up to you and go for the A train. He like sat in place and went for not A train but Excella, and he sat in place and went for it, and that's why he won because his spacing was just a little bit better. Pair double sucks. Fuck that. That's not a good duo.
It's all right. So what's a good duo? That's not Bayo Band.
Painwheel Band.
Sort of.
Para Painwheel. Really fucking good. It's really, really fucking good team. What else is there? There's some other good duos. Let me see who I have written down. Fuqua Beatixon's not bad. It's just not like top tier. You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad team. It's just not an amazing team.
Meta, you're overcommitting to Hatred Guard. Hatred Guard's awesome. You get 2 hits of armor, eat the attacks, but you should really be using it like very situationally, not just kind of as a Hail Mary.
Yeah, also be careful with mashing. I know like most like Philly against Valentine, you can get out of most of the resets with Gregor, but he's figured that out and he's burst baited you a couple times now. So
yeah, I was just gonna say Robot's been burst baited like at least twice.
That's not a real reset, especially against Painwheel. Gotta do something better. Or just be faster. If you do the stand light kick faster, then you can actually get a real reset. Yeah, that's hard to punish. I feel that. That's a frustrating raw tag to get hit with, especially in that way, because you're like probably still just trying to go for a setup. Also, there's a lot of good Bella duos, although Bella Band is probably the best, just because of like there's very specific synergy there.
There's asking how's Pararobo.
I guess you never want to kill your opponent.
That's true. You do like 0 damage.
Those are the two lowest damage characters in the game, and they don't have assisted augment damage significantly. If you want trio with Paris to double anyone, that's a classic ass fucking shell. Bella, Valentine, fucking Robo even if you want to be Liam. Oh, that was smart. I like that. I like that shit. Like, the execution kind of flopped, because, like, he didn't... But that was a smart idea. Oh, you could play Fuqua with that team if you really just wanted to, like, be like, I'm a better player than you the entire time. That's hard to punish. Oh, he just up back. Oh, he got Deflector instead of Devil Horns. You could play Eliza with that team. You could play...
Is that link normally possible with Painwheel? Where they fly canceled the medium into, like, a kick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is his last game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Parasol is the second lowest damage character in the game.
Right behind Robo, I think?
Mm-hmm. Right in front of Robo, yes.
Oh, yeah.
She beats out Robo because her corner damage can actually be quite high if you have the fucking hands for it.
Yeah.
Not quite high, but competitive. It's like, it's average.
It actually hits B&B level.
Her
heavy counter hit stuff is pretty solid, though.
Yeah, her heavy counter hit stuff's really good. And also, again, like, she's a very strong neutral character. She's fallen a bit in the tier list in my estimation. I used to think she was a lot better. But I think there's still top tier teams that have her. For instance, Pen's team. Or Lanva's team. Or NCV's team, but not the way NCV plays it, the way Magic Man plays it. Peacock has some of the highest damage in the game. Yeah, Val's like the poster child for like average damage.
Got the sliding knockdown. Okay, so you chased it with bypass. So Matt, considering how you've been playing where you want to like just let them run into your buttons, After that sliding knockdown, you don't have to follow it with bypass. You could have just stayed full screen. You also had plenty of space to move backwards too, because they were in the corner and you were half screen.
Yeah, so you're playing really passive. You're not. It doesn't seem like you're committing to a block on these resets. You're just kind of like letting them happen to you. You gotta play some more active defense, and that doesn't just mean mashing.
Alright. I actually respect that you didn't pop there. You didn't pop on the second one. That's good.
Yeah. Just sweep the leg, Danielson. Or no, wait, that was Johnny that swept the leg.
Okay.
Oh. Someone rage quit there? Yep.
The match is over. It's not really a rage quit.
Yeah. But yeah, he alt F4'd, like, I get maybe it was just before it caught up with the spectator.
Possible. Yeah. Alright, so trying to think. Like the most glaring issue, and Kenji, I feel like you alluded to this a little bit. It's like neither of these players seemed like they had a plan in mind, really, where they kind of press buttons for the sake of pressing buttons, but seemed right in that situation. Whereas you didn't really have a playstyle that zone. Meta, I felt like you went in for damage when with like routes you weren't really doing damage with, and then you'd also try to zone people out when you weren't in a situation to zone people out. But then when you could get them into a situation to zone them out, you just didn't.
Yeah, it's not really that. I mean, you're hitting on the right track, but it was like, I think like you just gotta just kind of go for like, you know, giving your opponent the least amount of chances, and a lot of that like meta. So like meta had, you know, good resets, but then the next step is like set play, right? Because you're doing a lot of like super fucking loose resets and shit like that, and then like, or you're going for like extremely like there's no mix up to your burst base and things like that. Or like you're going back to neutral in situations that like not even that you don't have to, but they're like that level 5 you went to, you didn't go back to it fast enough, right? And so you like lost fucking like advantage there, and like you put yourself at disadvantage and shit like that.
In terms of raw tech combos, alright, so I'm not gonna, I mean I can demonstrate a couple to you if you really want me to, but you know what they generally look like. So here are a few things about your team. So your team
launcher into double tag like is probably fine.
Launcher into double tag is one thing. I was thinking like launcher into pain wheel raw tag is also easily good, but specifically you want them in a knockdown state because pain wheel takes a little bit of time to get on the screen. So if you do any sort of, if you get them into a knockdown state in the air, I'm trying to think, like what Valentine's bypass does that, right? So like bypass land raw tag.
It has to be a fucking low bypass then. I don't know how you do that.
Why does that have to be a low bypass? Well, I mean just so you land faster.
Yeah, because otherwise you fall at like the same time they do.
I feel like it's. I mean, I guess I have to try that out. I wonder if you can pick it up with it. What is this?
I don't think it comes up. I don't think it comes up fast enough. Why do you want to do raw tag combos though? You're running 2 characters with safe DHCs. I don't know why you're asking this. Your team isn't good for raw tagging unless again you like really want to do some you really don't want to do some pain wheel shit and you like really just want to like win neutral with Val and then tag to pain wheel. But like, I don't know, man. Like it doesn't seem like it seems like you could just set up a set play, right? Where you like play Val, pain wheel double, right? You fucking like you do the fucking like super jump up back fucking shit with Val. If you get the hit, you know, you take him to the corner, and then with either assist, you can get 1 vial load. And then if you really want to, you can cash out into Hatred install and like explode them because you'll have 2 meters by then. Val builds decent meter, so like I don't get why you want to do raw tag combos. If you want to like, if you really want to do them, like you're gonna have to lab them yourself. Like I'm not gonna like play your team and like figure that out for you. But I would say
I would go as far as even finding examples for you. That's not the issue. It's like, okay, so let's think about it. Like why are raw tag combos not particularly great? Well, okay, so it implies that you are in a situation where you don't have 2 meters and you want to switch characters. When does that happen? Basically never. So either you were on the defensive and you want to switch to another character to bring on point because you want this other character to heal, but you don't. But if you were on the defensive, that means you were being hit. If you were being hit, that means you were building meter.
It could also be you want to switch to a character, like, so you want to play a better neutral character than raw tag to a character with better resets once you actually get the confirm. Like, that's generally the idea behind making set play around that. But, like, I don't think you have to do that with your team. Again, unless, yeah, you have, like, your point characters bleeding and you, like, really can't get out in a better way. Like, you can't, like, just Scalpel's Hatred install or Scalpel's Heads or something. Yeah. But, But like as far as like raw tagging, that's why you'd want to do it, is because you want to play, like, that's why, like, if you could somehow like play Parasol and then, like, so like it's really easy to get the hit with her, and then you switch into someone who can like actually do damage, so you just do like one reset into like that character set play. That's what a lot of people do.
And the alternative to that is still like just build 1 meter, do one, like, you might need 1 reset for that if you build 1 meter in the middle of a combo, and then now you have 2 meter, and now you can DHC into whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, because like tag combos like fucking destroy like your damage and your Undizzy usage. So like it makes your set play like one step. Like it doing a tag combo as part of like your game plan. Like you're like I get the first hit and like convert this into into a reset, into incoming, into the game, like game plan, is gonna add at least like 1 or 2 like more chances for them to play, as opposed to just doing straight set play with literally any point character. Like, so again, unless like you're really like you just either hate doing resets with a point character, or you're like just super confident in your reset ability with another character, which again, it could be the case, right? Like raw tagging into Painwheel and just doing some bullshit and like exploding them in the corner is a real ass fucking thing. Like, don't get me wrong, but like you would have to come up with like a very specific game plan around it. Like, and the set play would have to be incredibly well developed also. But there's people who do it. There's people who fucking wash me who do that shit. Like, don't get it twisted. But there's people who also try to do that shit, and I'm like, oh, I just live now. Because they tried to do some, like, robo hard tag set play, and I'm like, okay, you're never gonna kill me then. I can make, like, 7 mistakes in neutral, and, like, I'm still gonna come out ahead. So, that's kind of, like, I would say consider why, like, what you want to do with that. And then, like, if you still want to do it, because if you just think it's cool, too, just fucking do it. Like, there's, like, you don't have to just play to win. And so if you're going to do that, then like you got to, again, consider what your game plan is going to be for that.
Right. So
also, I came up with a really good plan. Really good plan for what?
Who says this?
Star variants. I don't know who that is, but
irregular.
Take to the corner, Parasol, do H install. Yeah, that's literally why I say to play Parasol. Like, Parasol Painwheel is one of the better duos in the game, because if you see Magic Man play that team, what you can do, any tier converts into Detonation, into Sniper, into Hatred Install from full screen. You can get like 9k. Of course, it's 2 meters, and you need a pretty decent confirm. And it's like you have to have a really good execution, because you have to do a full screen fucking like travel there Painwheel shit. But like, it's an insane fucking thing. Like, just being able to like full screen. Now you're in fucking Painwheel Hatred Install set play, or Hatred Install damage. Like, it's a really fucking good team.
You'll focus on the Painwheel tag team. Okay. So, on the off chance that you are doing this for cool, or whatever, and you have a plan, you figured out a plan on how you're going to make this work, on what you're going to raw tag into after you get a hit, and then do resets from there, then here's just the general rule of thumbs that you need to make a raw tag combo. Just kind of, so first things first, you need to see how the raw tag is hitting. So in the case of Squiggly's hits them full screen and gets a wall bounce, right? Which means that Squiggly needs to be a little bit further away from the corner so they don't wall bounce so too high away from Squiggly, otherwise she won't be able to convert. You would also need to be able to, like, pick them off the ground with OTG, so it has to be a move. So it has to be a distance in front of you where you'd be able to hit them with a low and pick them up. Going back to your team though, like, Painwheel's raw tag coming in is a hit grab. It's a techable hit grab. It's the only techable hit grab in the game? Question mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can block or you can tech it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
But it's pretty easy to. It's one of the easier ones to combo into.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the super easy ones to combo into. You either have to get them launched with a really, really fast, and then with a really, really low recovery launcher. I don't know. I'm not honestly sure how much recovery is there on Val's.
Yeah, it's super. Doing any tag combo is like super character specific, and again, like really fucking like eats your damage and Undizzy and like the amount of buttons you have left in your combo. So
yeah, that's a reminder. So like raw tags will do however many hits of scaling, but also they're gonna add 20 Undizzy. They count as a medium. In the case of Painwheel, because it's a hit grab, all hit grabs scale to 55. So
yeah, and they're not like DHCs where they reset button tracking also. So
right,
you'll get red bursted. Like, if you use any button you use on your previous character.
I actually didn't know that. That's kind of.
And also they scale your combo too, I think.
They scale a combo just like any other thing, like 3 or 4 hits, or in case of Pain Wheel, down to 55 guaranteed.
I thought they scaled it to 50.
Do they auto-scale to 50?
I thought that. Let me check. I'll check right now.
I know if you start a combo with an assist, it goes to 50.
Yeah, I thought that was the same thing. They just let me try with like double assist.
Sure.
Can Philly even combo into double rotate? Let's find out. I fucked up. I fucked up already. I didn't set up a save state, so I gotta do the fucking hard tag. Oh shit, you can't actually do launcher into that. How the fuck do you raw tag into this shit then?
I assume air drill into raw tag?
Really?
What's it, ringlet spiral, or whatever it is?
But you can't do special into raw tag. Like, it doesn't cancel.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that you would have low enough recovery.
I don't have the fucking patience to figure this out right now.
Well, so much for that. That's out the window.
Yeah. This was more annoying than I thought it would be.
Passad says no, and oh no, he said he was answering. Does Parasol suck ass? Never mind. He's not answering that question. All right. Well, all right. So meta, I recommend double checking on how much scaling it carries. You raw tag with your combo.
I thought it scaled.
Hello?
It was Val. It was Val, Pain Wheel, double, but not in that order. Which I think should be the order, by the way.
That was double. Okay.
Also, certain characters like.
Double.
Also, like, certain characters you can't raw tag out of specials. The raw tag counts as your special cancel. It's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like. So you're gonna have to like wait for your character to recover after the special and then raw tag, and there's no link in the game that is that fucking lenient. But what's it called? What was I saying? I don't even remember.
In the case of Pain Wheel, she land cancels, then you can keep doing shit.
Yeah. What else? A lot of characters like require OTG to convert off of your hard tag also, so like be careful about that. Again, so like most characters like require OTG. Like you have to do some like really bullshit ass route that like does no damage and uses like Undizzy really inefficiently, and then you have to like make sure you don't use any of those buttons before resetting again. It's like it's just such a bad idea. Like unless you're some sort of like brain genius.
Standing hard kick wall bounce combo into double raw tag, I believe so.
I'm trying it with Philia and it's not working. Like I've been trying that and it's not working.
Really? Damn.
Yeah. Let me try
And
is that not... Well, you can't convert off banned raw tag like ever. It has so much recovery.
I mean like ban standing hard kick, get the wall bounce into double raw tag.
Oh, let me see that. I think you can do banned launcher into double raw tag though, because it has a lot of hits done.
Huh. Ban is
nope.
Just kind of easier in general though, just because you have sound stun for days.
Oh yeah, you probably could just do that too. Because there's some sort of banned double raw tag thing I remember I saw. Yeah. It's like baloney jail equivalent. Yeah, okay, you can do crouch fierce into double raw tag with banned. But yeah, I don't know. Fucking, you're gonna have to figure that shit out on your own. I'm not gonna lab it right now because I don't care.
I can try finding video examples for you if you want me to meta. Just reach out to me. I'm sure some exist out there.
I know Softy has a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
They're not particularly good, but they're like he took the time to try to optimize some of them.
Huh.
But again, like I don't. But they're like to Robo, I think.
Oh, that's not...
like yeah, like I don't think it's a team you should be raw tagging with.
So that's basically, that covers the basics. Like it's like the purposes of raw tagging on your team, or raw tag combos on your team, and also conditions that need to be met for you to be able to raw tag into your team. I'll leave the experimentation to you, and obviously Kenji will as well. But I can try and find you examples if you're really struggling to make anything work. Just reach out to me on Discord. In case anyone here is not in the Discord, you can find the Discord by typing !DISCORD.
I'm not in the Discord.
That's fine. You don't want to be in the Discord.
Yeah.
You're literally in the Discord.
I'm not in the Discord.
You're right.
You can't prove that. You can't prove that in court.
I literally can't. Like
Nah, dude, go to court and you'll never fucking see this shit. I'll backtraced it, you know, and then consequences will never be the Kazuka's will never be the same.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so... Alright, Hugh prefers because it does more damage than normal Fukuo.
Yeah, but if you're not resetting with Fukuo, why are you playing her?
True.
The only reason to play that character. Because of her great neutral?
Not that bad, it's just worse than what it used to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna scrub this. I'm gonna get this picture off the internet, just like Beyonce did.
Good luck.
Dude. You know I got that Beyonce money. Shout out to Destiny's Child. Say My Name is a great song.
Alright, so, since we finished...
Yo, you know California's a two-party consent state, dude. I'm gonna get your ass. See, I baited you, man. Like the Westboro Baptist Church, I baited you into a lawsuit.
California doesn't own me.
That's what you think.
I definitely think that. So, because we finished really early, or relatively early, it's 5:30. So we're gonna spend like 30 minutes. If you guys got any Q questions or answers that you guys
If you got any Qs, I'll stick them up your A if you know what I'm saying. And I know that's what you were trying to say. That's what you were trying to say. You were saying if you had any Qs, and I was just like, oh no, he said that. He thinks he's Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. California acknowledges that I'm Quincy Jones.
Parasol's fine. Parasol's a good character. Parasol has some fucking amazing teams she can be on too, but they're really hard to play. But Parasol's a pretty hard character, to be fair. Parasol's one of the harder characters in the game.
Monoki Fukuo is great neutral when you nerfed her. I mean, it's still pretty good. It's just not nearly as dumb as it used to be.
It's also not good.
Why not?
Because she has no highs, and you can push block everything, so you can't tick throw. I mean, you can push block her lights on reaction, so it's impossible to mix someone up if they're just blocking correctly. Like because you don't have to block high, you just down back everything. And you can't get grabbed.
Why not?
Because you can push block everything on reaction.
Standing a light punch, you can push block that on reaction.
Yes. Also, standing light punch won't reach after a lot of ranges from jump in, so like you should never be doing it.
How much hit stun does it have, or how much block stun does it have?
Too much. Like you can literally if someone is like good at the game or like halfway decent at the game, you can never get crouch light into command grab. They can push block it super easily.
Request, Skullgirls, Shoryu.
So like you have to like empty jump like shit, and like in that case it's like you have to take the risk of them just like getting their turn back. Who would you consider adding as a third to a Philly-Bella team? Peacock's pretty good. I played that team for a little bit, and I replaced Bella with Big Band because it's just better. But if you really want to play that team, make sure you're playing heavy lock and load, like for sure. Like don't play Copter. Copter's like you're playing Philia, you don't need Copter. I don't know, like Big Band would honestly be really good as a third. Painwheel could be alright, but I don't actually think that's that good of an idea. You play Robo, but that team's just like that team would be fun, but that team's not super good. Who else really?
Wow, it is reactable. We should.
Yeah, I don't need to look at the frame data. I live that life. You think they're gonna just switch to Squig, Excel, M Bomber? No, I think that team's bad. I think there's one good Squiggly team in the game, and then there's a couple okay Squiggly duos.
Was it Squiggly A-Train? It wasn't Robo, was it? What the fuck was it?
Yeah, Squiggly Robo, Squiggly Beam H A-Train. Team's actually like quite good. I don't think it's top tier, but I think it's like high tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
I showed you that shit, man. That shit's
you
bullshit.
sent me the team thing before, and I'm like, I definitely know that this works, and I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
It requires I play Robo, and it requires I play A-Train. Both of the things that I do not want to do.
Yeah, also like learning to play Robo correctly is like the fucking nightmare, like.
I do not care about Skullgirls enough to learn Robo.
Yeah, like fuck that noise. Same reason, I don't care enough to like learn how to play Fortune correctly or Peacock. Like, if I was still playing, I'd be playing Peacock right now. Peacock's fucking busted. I'd just be playing Chuck or Lonba's team right now. Like honestly, these teams are so good. Peacock's so fucking strong.
Would y'all consider adding a third to a Philly Battle team? Well, in general, if you just add double, you can make the team work. If you want to make a team great, then that's tough.
That's what I was saying. I was saying like Peacock would be good. Band would be good. Robo would be fun, but not necessarily good.
Why fun? Why? So what assist would Robo run?
Beam. Beam's the only good.
Beam's the only one that
assist.
works. Yeah, but like.
Oh, Philia H Beam's like fun, dude. You can do some bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really crazy.
Huh.
Like I think Philia Robo's like a halfway decent duo, honestly. Like it's not a good duo again. Like your damage output's just fucking garbage, but like it's a halfway decent duo. Kenji, what's your tier list? My tier list is largely irrelevant. I have a bunch of teams that I think are like really good, and then I have like the I rank the characters they're in. But for the most part, I think okay, let me see this. I still have Big Band at the bottom of this tier list. That's not correct anymore. Yeah, like I don't think like ranking characters individually is like that useful in this game anymore, honestly. I think like ranking teams are more important. So yeah, well this tier list isn't even reflective of my current feelings anymore. It's close, but I think like you should make a team and then like think about whether it's not as good, and like you make tier lists based on like teams that are presented to you. For instance, I think Chuck's team is incredibly strong. I think Lamba's team is one of the best teams in the game. I think Pen's team is like one of the best teams in the game. I think Rabble's duo. I don't like his trio. I don't like that. I think it's one of the best teams in the game.
That's his main team now, though. He doesn't want to play the duo anymore.
I mean, that's his thing. He's better than me. So, what else is there? Like for instance, like I don't think Sonic Fox team is very good. Things like that. But that just speaks to his skill as a player. Like I think like TJ's team is like high tier but not top tier. Like I think those are more important to consider than individual character rankings.
In terms of just being really good at Skullgirls, I feel like right now you can still get away with almost a team. Like we're not pushing on optimal hard enough for us to think that like a specific team wouldn't work. You can put it together, quote unquote, team optimal, which is just Valentine, Painful, Squiggly is like the worst teams at the time, and you can just make it work. Like you can make any team work.
Like anyone can out neutral anyone in this game still right now. So like just play who you like. Honestly, comfortability with your team is still the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Comfort, not comfortability. It's not a word.
Comfortability is a word, but it's not the word to use there.
Yeah.
But
just like people saying this player's adaptation is really good.
Never heard that before. Who says that?
Oh, dude, it's like all over fucking Smash.
I don't listen.
Fucking people just like take out the middle lyric or middle fucking syllable, not lyrics.
Either way, it was what the fuck was I gonna? Oh yeah, so like, if you want to talk about like pushing on the ceiling of Skullgirls, right? Eventually, not every team will work. There are certain teams that already like work ridiculously well together, and like Bayo Band, pretty much anything is one of the biggest things. Like a big way.
I think it's only Bayo HA Train. I think Bayo Brass fucking sucks.
Not with the third.
I still think that character is like I think that character is like completely like garbage if he doesn't have HA Train behind him. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. But that is my opinion. But yeah, if we're talking about like, oh, I have this character I like to play, what's a good team or whatever, like that's a decent place to start, right? Because if you make a bad team, right, you're gonna struggle so much more, right? Like, you know, all those people with my unique assist, right? Like I want to run Philia standing heavy punch assist or whatever, fucking like.
My dumbass is still running center stage.
Yeah, like that shit, running Peacock teleport assist and shit like that. Like,
Calling me out.
No shade, money, but fucking. Also, I think that's a really fucking smart fucking idea. Is just like be able to play like 4 characters in any combination.
Yeah.
Like and just be really good. Like honestly, like if Shade like cared about the game, he would probably be like one of the better players just due to that versatility. Because those characters also like really work.
Yeah.
Excella, like I don't think is good anymore. I used to think he was like one of the best assists in the game, and now I'm just like, dude, that damage scaling is fucking like just play A-Train. Just fucking play A-Train.
A-Train also has shitty damage scaling.
But it's not 33, it's 50.
Yeah, but it takes half as long.
Nah.
How long is it?
I get the same conversions off sweep updo on A-Train that I do with Excella.
You don't play a resource character.
I mean, if you're playing a resource character, don't play Excella also, like, unless you're playing Cloud's team.
Why? Wait, hold on, why?
Because, like, you're not, like, because then you want to do damage.
Yeah, but if the first half of your set play is to get the resources you need to do damage, and you're running Excel in that makes sense to me. That checks out.
I mean, again, like, I think Val Excel is really good, but that's, like, mainly off the back of Cloud King's, like, ridiculous optimization on, like, every aspect of that team from set play to combos, and, like, neutral situations.
And, like, Cloud's set play, he literally told me, is, like, he doesn't specifically go for damage right away. He gets a sliding knockdown so he can set up a situation where he has resources.
Yeah,
and then the next touch the best character in the game,
and then the touch kills you. Yeah. But, like, you can't do that with most characters. Like, you can't do that with Squiggly. Like, just run A-Train. It's so much easier.
Easier? Yes.
And, like, better, also. Yeah, but it's also just, like, better.
I mean, the main reason I like Tekken is because I'm neutral in the game. I want to force my opponent to play neutral, to at least have.
If you're trying to play neutral, you're gonna play in the wrong fucking game, my guy.
It's working. I mean, sort of.
What do you mean it's working?
I'm able to beat people.
You lose to all my fucking, like, please no neutral teams.
Because you're fucking... Like, I don't understand how your characters fucking work. I don't understand how your team works. It just eats my brain up.
Exactly. Because there's no neutral. There's nothing for you to think about. You just have to flip coins.
Yeah, but when I play against when I play against Cloud's team, I feel like, okay, I'm actually making smart decisions here.
That's because Cloud like wants to play neutral, like plays more neutral than he has to, but because he's so good at it that he like is confident in his ability to out neutral the opponent, which he does like 9 times out of 10. To be fair, like he's playing to his strength there, but like he plays more than he has to, not a lot more, but just like a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, but Cloud's like I think like one of the best fucking Skullgirls players alive. Like he's such a fucking good player. And his optimization, he's like the most optimal player in the game right now, probably also.
He considers so many scenarios when he makes his teams. It's kind of disturbing. Like, he'll specifically have like team combinations that are specifically designed around beating out Brass whenever they're mashing out of reset. Like, that's like a thing he considers when he's making his team, otherwise the team is garbage.
Yeah. See, and I'm like, see, fuck that. Like, if you get hit by me, break out your D20 and like... and then we can play, you know what I'm saying? Like there is no like consideration with me. There is down backing and there is mashing.
Yeah, Squiggly's all neutral. It's just she wins 90% of it. That's why it's so fun. If you have punch charge and 1 meter, you are officially the best character in the game. Both charges, you are beyond the best character in the game.
You're fucking crazy, man. Like
I'm not the one that said this. This was Cloud that said this.
I don't agree with that. You can just play any DP assist and like invalidate that character.
Not really.
Yes.
In general, yeah, but not when I don't know. Because when she has a punch,
I'm okay like playing big band against that character, like just like point to point.
The more I've been playing Squiggly, the more I'm realizing that Big Band actually has a lot of the more I'm playing Big Band, the more I'm realizing that Big Band actually has a lot of options against Squiggly.
Yeah.
I coin flip on what
Kenji's thinking when I play him. Yeah, like that's the whole point. Is like that's the game for me at least, and I think for a lot of better players, the game is you have to fucking like create the least amount of opportunity for your opponent, and if like taking like meaningful thought out is like that's a mental damage too. On top of like. If I'm just doing a completely ambiguous reset and you're just like, shit, I just flip a coin on this, I have no read on his like fucking habits or anything, then Like literally, that's like my best chance to win the game because it resets an advantage state, right? So like if I just have a true 50-50 and your character will die if you guess wrong, then like why would I do anything else besides like just try and like make you crumble to that?
Because then you lose 25% of games, up to 50.
Yeah. Again, but like you can do resets that like you don't just like lose your like you don't just like lose. If they block the reset, you're still like it's still your advantage. You know what I mean? Like it's not like oh I like
resets.
Most of the ones I do.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to be doing good resets also. Like I'm not just gonna do like oh do I do LA train or H or MA train and then if I'm wrong you get a heavy counter hit. Like no, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about like good high-level resets that lead into meaningful set play, even on block. Although, again, I don't have a lot of those, but the best players do. How do you make a team? What are the core essentials of a team? Why does, say, para double suck? So how you make a team is you play the characters you want to play. How do you make a good team is you play characters that meaningfully either enhance the already existing strengths or cover weaknesses. And then a really good team has some sort of like more specific game plan than that. Again, to harp on this example, to take Cloud's example, he puts you in a situation where he loads a bunch of vials, gets you in the corner, and then you're fucked, right? Orange vial, so you're like super unlikely to block anything. You're super unlikely to get your turn back. Yeah. And then if he wants to DHC, he can delete your character, but he doesn't have to, right? Because if you're so unlikely to block the orange vial reset, which loops into itself, then he can just kill you with Val. And then he builds so much meter that like one touch on your last character kills you, right? And that's what a lot of Cloud's teams do, is that he can just cash out when he wants to and delete a character, and then the game's like so solidly in his favor, or the game closes out. Like you have no comeback potential. And that's the idea with what I think a lot of the good teams are. But then there's teams like the Para Painwheel team, where it has that, you know, like, oh, I can convert into a hatred install combo from like full screen, you know, off of like a one fucking tier hit, or you know, there's team, and then again, it's whether or not that game plan is good. For instance, like McPeanuts' game plan of hard knockdown with double into Peacock raw tag, I don't think was an idea in that same respect, where it's a more specific idea that plays to the strengths of Peacock has not so great round start, but once Peacock is full screen and has the advantage, then it's like a fucking vice grip. I don't think fucking was super good because you essentially had to win neutral twice because you didn't get enough frame advantage to hard tag into Peacock and maintain advantage to like set up your zoning in a super meaningful way. But the idea was there. So to kind of go more on why Para Double I don't think is a super good team is because it doesn't really do that. Again, like, you're playing neutral character, neutral assist. So, like, what are you doing, right? Like, because you're running, like, and which is why people now run Slide with Parasol, right? Because now you have this insane mix-up tool with your incredible neutral-based character, because Parasol can always maintain safe frame advantage once she hits you. And so Slide is, like, now covered now, this uninvincible assist, but it's not invincible and kind of slow because it's a low, and it's hard to see low. See low green, you know what I'm saying? Is fucking is because it plays to that. But the reason that the duo is not super good then is because you don't have a way to do good empty jumps then, because empty jump Cilia Slide you can get out of that shit, right? Like, so there's not a good way to maintain your neutral advantage while being safe. The team's very unsafe, is what I'm saying, where it wouldn't be if you're playing, for instance, you know, Para M Bomber is incredibly safe, but then you do no damage, your reset potential doesn't really go up. You know, Double Pillar is like kind of good, but it's as good as any other double duo team. You know what I mean? So like it's the team's fine, but I don't think it's like very good. And that's kind of my rationale behind it. Again, these are all just my opinions. There is definitely people who like 1,000% are like thinking right now, this guy's a fucking idiot. He knows nothing about Skullgirls. He'll never be good at Skullgirls, which is true. So these are just my opinions, but hopefully I'm explaining my rationale enough that you can come to your own conclusion as to whether or not you agree, and you don't have to agree in whole or disagree in whole either. If you're like, oh, I think this part's he's right, this part's he's not, I think that's the more important thing, is that you're asking the right questions.
Thank you for attending Kenji's TED Talk.
Yeah. And this is also why I'm not good at the game. I spend too much time thinking about it as opposed to playing it. And like I don't improve on like actual shit that matters, like being better at like neutral and like having better holistic decision making.
A very trivial way of thinking of what everything Kenji said is that when you go in with a team or a character or whatever, you end up going in with objectives. You want to end up in specific situations where you have huge advantage and your opponent is very confused and they have to guess, otherwise they die. Whether that means building, the objectives can be as simple as building resources. The objectives can be as simple as getting into a situation where they're in like a crumble state, where you're trying to make a 50-50 on them by calling a system jumping over, or it could be extremely elaborate. And getting those objectives fulfilled is what kind of makes Skullgirls a game. And having a team that lets you fill those objectives more quickly is what makes a team really good. In Cloud's team's case, which we keep using as an example, every possible objective...
Because he's a good player with a good team.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Is the reason.
Like, there are like 3 teams right now out there that you can really talk about how every objective is fulfilled, and I would say it's Cloud's team and Sev's team too. Sev's team is incredibly smart.
I think the duo. I think the DP assist isn't necessary. I think the duo version is better still.
The duo version is better because it gives you returns, but the DP assist lets her fulfill the objectives that team needs a little bit easier, which I would argue is stronger.
My point being, I don't think you need the help. I think that Bayo AJ Train has incredible neutral and is incredibly hard to like get in on or like just like counterplay anyway. Like the DP assist makes it like the DP assist takes it from like 97% to 100, whereas opposed to like in that category, but like brings you like in terms of damage, like gives you like an extra turn, which I don't think is worth the trade-off at all. That's the other thing. No team's perfect. Every team has fucking like huge weaknesses, and on top of that, they're being controlled by your dumbass, right? So like. So, like, you're gonna fuck up. You're a fucking person, right? Like, even Daigo loses, right? And Daigo, like, okay, I don't know. Daigo hasn't been the best player in the world for a while, but even Daigo loses, right? Even Sonic Fox takes L's in this game, you know? So, like, the game's still controlled by a human, and so it's about making yourself play as well as possible.
Which is why, coming full circle, you should always play the team that you're most comfortable with, because that's gonna be significantly better for you than pretty much anything else.
Can we get Kenji on Opinion Dash? What's Opinion Dash?
Opinion Dash is a Skullgirls podcast.
There's a Skullgirls. There's not enough news about Skullgirls to make a podcast about. What the fuck? Is it run like every 4 months?
I think it's like once a month, and
there are like 3 tournaments for this game a year. And the same people win every time. Oh, Sonic Fox is still really good at the game. Oh my god, like Rapple's still making people angry.
I don't think it's focused on people like getting news about Skullgirls. Maybe a little bit, but again, you're right. There's only 3 majors a year. It's more
like,
so about just getting like
these many
commentary
quick
on
match
how
games
players think in Skullgirls, or like what players are trying to do in Skullgirls.
That's not that deep of a subject. You can go over that in like a week. Like, what?
Well, I mean, wait, what are you talking about?
Like what? Like I don't think there's enough content there. Like how? Do they have like meaningful content?
Kenji, you've been talking for like an hour and a half, pretty much.
Yeah, and this is like everything. And this is everything I have to.
Yeah.
And this is everything I have to say about the game. Like I'm done.
So 1 month they talk about you for a month and a half. Like you got your hour and a half. You talked about your entire opinion on the game. First, I think the very first opinion dash was Mr. Peck. He does that. Like,
oh yeah,
next time
he's a great guy.
I
love Mr. Peck. He's a really fucking cool dude. He was my quote unquote coach at CEO Otaku 27. When did we go? 17, 18?
20. Wait. I'm gonna say 2017. I don't think I went last year.
He was my quote unquote coach, but I don't share his opinions on this game, especially character balance.
And that's why we need multiple episodes of Opinion Dash. I've never actually watched Opinion Dash. But
everyone else is wrong. We don't need multiple opinions. Also, his coaching was fucking like you were. Oh no, you weren't. No, you were there when I beat Full Bleed, right?
Yes. Wait.
Yeah, and so like I went up 2-0, and then like he starts talking to Sage for like 10 minutes, like getting coached and whatever. And Peck just like taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "I have nothing to say to you. You're playing great. I just don't want you to feel left out from having a coach."
I remember this. Yeah, I do remember this.
Thanks, man. I was like, by the way, I'm Kenji.
What a dude.
Yeah, no, he's a fun cool. We watched fucking Plus R together. Me, him, and Rabble.
That's cool.
Yeah.
God, I wish there were like more than 2 human beings who played Plus R in Midwest.
Who are the 3 worst characters? 3 worst characters. Probably like Fukuwa, Fuku and Robo Fortune are definitely the bottom 2. Not necessarily in that order. I go back and forth on who I think is the worst. Then I don't know who's like in the bottom 3. Maybe Eliza. Nah, Eliza's too solid to be bottom 3.
Eliza's really.
Yeah. Like, because I used to think Big Band is the worst, but he's just, like, so good as, like, a team player. But, like, in terms of, like, point characters, he's one of the worst, if not the worst. But my opinion on Robo has gone down a lot, too. My bottom 3 characters are Robo and Fukuwa. They're bad enough that they take up 1.5 slots each. Because I think everyone else is, like, fine. I think that if you're playing those 2 characters, you're, like, doing significantly more work than you have to do. But no one knows how to block Fukuwa, so you'll get away with it. No one knows how to deal with beams, myself included, so you'll get away with it.
You block Fukuwa?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm alright at it. I'm better than the average person. But I'm pretty bad at blocking in general.
So.
But you know I'm pretty bad at like blocking in general, so.
Sure, you just don't do that. You either up back or mash.
Down back or mash.
Is it down back and mash?
Yeah, why would I? If I'm
I
up
feel like
backing,
it keeps switching.
No, it's always been down backing and mashing.
Okay.
Because if I'm up backing, then that's something I can mash anyway, because they either need to air dash at me or grab me, which can be mashed out, but you can't necessarily mash out like lows because you're like landing on them most of the time. Lows are fucking what's it called? Like tighter. They're tighter resets, right? Lows are usually the tightest resets, so you have to you can't mash those. These are the least mashable. So it's down backing and mashing. I've never said up backing and mashing. Someone misquoted me as saying up backing and mashing one time, and it like stuck.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But it was. I thought. Okay, so what happens?
Don't believe the fake news, folks.
The tight low that happens just as you're landing, right? Like those are the most unmashable resets.
But there's also some where like a frame
with overheads.
But there's some there were also the frame advantages such that like mashing is like really fucking hard or like impossible. Also, you know, like the parasol shit, you know, like doing the forward medium punch, like you can't mash those.
Right, Squiggly has that from her like the standing medium punch vortex. Like she has that with an overhead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like I mash out of that shit every time.
When was the last time you fought someone that used the standing medium punch vortex?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Last time.
No one uses that anymore for some reason. I mean, no one plays Squiggly, justifiably.
Yeah,
so.
but like I never had problems with that. I think that's just reactable. Maybe that's just reactable is the problem.
Mayhaps.
Because yeah, I never had problems with that. Like that was one of the first like higher level resets that I learned how to deal with on reaction, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, all right, I gotta learn how to deal with Beowulf hop overheads. Then I realized you can't. those are actually just guesses, and you can't push block them. You can't. Fucking ridiculous, man.
Somehow this character just sucks without A-Train?
Yeah, this character's terrible without A-Train. I genuinely believe that. Without AJ-Train specifically, too. MA-Train on that character is bad, too. But that team is, like, possibly the best team in the game. Yeah, see? Look, we have a convert. Down backing and mashing have been working out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, also there's the thing. No one's making you play Skullgirls. No one's making you play video games or fighting games or anything. No one's making you do anything. Just do what's fun to you. If Skullgirls is fun to you, more power to you, man. Like, you know, there's a lot to love in this game for sure. There's a lot to love in, you know, anything that you do. Just don't hurt other people, obviously. But like you know, like legal, you know, morally, legally, that whole thing. Like if you're into boxing, hurt people, but you know, there's consent there. But like, but yeah, like that's like, if you feel like, you know, shit's either becoming too much work, it's not fun for you. It's taking a toll, because this shit can take a toll. Like the drive to like just want to win and you can't do it. Like sometimes you just gotta hold the L. Like, and that's just like a genuine ass failure. And like that fucking happens sometimes. It happens in anything, but like only one person can win the tournament, and like 16 make it out of pools, right? And like it's okay to not be there, right? And it's okay to keep trying and get better, and it's okay to keep trying and never get better too. Like understand that too. You can play, and even if you never make it out of pools, that's fucking fine, as long as you're enjoying the grind, trying to get better. But if you're not enjoying that, it's also okay to call it quits. And I think knowing yourself as a person is very important, because people can go to some pretty unhealthy places with this shit. I'm sure everyone here knows someone whose like life was destroyed by like World of Warcraft or League of Legends, or and shit like that. And so like I think that's also important too, is to have kind of perspective on your life as it regards to like grinding and this sort of shit. Right?
Heard it here first. Give up.
Yeah, like I did. No, like seriously, like I straight up like am a failure at this game. I couldn't like I experienced like one like medium-sized failure, and I like never recovered, and I stopped having fun, and the game became like work to me, and so I'm like, I'm done.
Can you even call it a medium-sized failure?
Yes.
You were one button away from getting out of pools, and that was your first major.
I lost 2 games also, like on top of that. You like again, like
there were yeah, like you shouldn't have lost to PME after that, but like that was because you were not in the right mindset after the first game.
But also I shouldn't have lost the 2 games before that to Sage also, you know what I mean? Like I got reverse 3-0'd on that shit.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like one button away. It's I like fucking like crumbled, and then like getting to the point where I was better than that was too much work for me. It was too hard for me, which is crazy, right? Because there's some people who are already above that level. Like Sage didn't win that tournament. Sage got destroyed by Sonic Fox in that tournament. So like, you know what I mean? Like so getting like better at that game was something that was like very clearly beyond me, I think. And that's okay. Like I don't have to be like, like that's I realize like I don't have to just like keep playing till I fucking drop, because I could be better.
Yeah.
But like if you enjoy that, then that's fine, but that's not for me.
I agree with everything you're saying. Like I agree with like understanding like your own limits, and understanding like at any point when you evaluate yourself, it's like, is it fun, or is it a good idea for you to put in the effort that you would need to do to get to where you want to be? And sometimes the answer is no, and then you just hold that L and you take it. At the same time, I do feel like there's like understanding what you want is also just as important. It's not always just...
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And the thing is, like, I didn't want to be good at Skullgirls anymore. Like, that wasn't my, like again, like with breaking, like my hands are in fucking disrepair, dude. Like I'm gonna have to get like surgery at some point when I'm like an adult, or when I'm like fucking like in my 30s or something. Like my hands are in like, you know what I'm saying? Like my hands are fucked, dude, and like my legs and everything. But like that, like breaking and like being like amazing at breaking means more to me than fucking anything. So like I'll fucking do that till I'm fucking dead. Like I'm destroying myself over that shit, but I will never not do it. You know what I mean? But like I didn't feel that way about Skullgirls, you know? So like it doesn't have to be like everything you do. But like there are some things where like if you want to be the best, like don't stop trying to be the fucking best. But there's other things where like it's okay to not be. It's okay to not even be good at certain things and keep doing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing.
I think like this weird like, you know, like especially like anyone who's fucking Asian fucking knows what it's like to like be told that like you have to be fucking like hyper competitive at everything, like you like being like good isn't good enough and everything, or like being bad's like unacceptable, and like fuck all that noise, man. Like live a happy life as long as you can fucking like provide and you're not fucking yourself up, you know, you're not being like, you know, this word's taken on some like weird subtext now, but like as long as you're not being like completely fucking degenerate and like you're taking care of yourself, then like do what the fuck you want and like go as hard as you want, but like know your limits. You know what I mean? Like that shit's more important. Like that's just way more important than playing any video game will ever fucking be.
Life lessons.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, you would see how many people are like just completely like maladjusted, dude. Like,
oh yeah.
Don't act like you haven't seen this shit, man. Like this shit, like people are fucked up, man.
The way it's one of those things where we loosely talked about this before, where in order to be good at anything, like at a game, there's this inherent qualification of you being able to take care of yourself. Where a lot of people think it's like, oh, if I'm working full time and if I'm like taking care of myself, I'm being smart about what I eat and like exercising and putting in all the time for that, I'm never gonna have the time to get good at like a hobby or something like that. But at the same time, you're never gonna reach your goals if you don't have the mindset you need to like keep yourself intact.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I totally like, and I get why people feel that way, right? Like again, like to use the example of Sonic Fox plays video games for a fucking living. Like is he done with college? Does he still go to school?
I think he finished college.
Yeah, so like Sonic Fox plays video games. Like that's what he does. He can play like as much fucking fighting games as he wants. The only limit is like what he chooses to do with his fucking time, right? And he can rationalize playing video games 24 hours a day because he gets paid to do it. Like his fucking like personal brand is being incredibly good at fighting games, right? And fucking
Take it back. I
like
think he's still in college.
But you know what I'm saying. Like it's the summer right now, assuming he's not taking summer classes or doing some or working, another job. But I don't think he is. But I don't pretend to know him. Like I'm not his friend. I don't know any of this shit. So I'm talking out of my ass here, but I'm making some assumptions about the guy. But like there are players who literally like they just play video games as their fucking job, right? And it feels like, oh man, like if I'm not already doing that, these people who are better than me are already playing more than me. They're practicing harder than me. They already have a better understanding than me. Like, so if I don't just like fucking quit my job, hope to get sponsored, and just play video games all day, like nothing will ever come of it. And like, you're not gonna like that's not a good idea because like
never a good idea.
Because one, like, no one has to tell you that the odds of that are ridiculously low, and you're gonna just be like, but I will, like, I'll find the one piece of a UYU sponsorship or Echo Fox sponsorship, and be king of the pirates or whatever the fuck it is.
I mean,
like,
we're like going into like a really extreme example of like people quitting their jobs and like begging for a sponsorship, and yeah, that shit happens. But like even on a most trivial level, like, I mean, even as a joke, when people say like, "Hey, I'm not gonna shower, I'm too busy doing this or that," like, fucking take care of yourself. I'm not gonna eat healthy.
Yeah.
Fucking take care of yourself.
Like, and even less than that, like people like, oh, I'm not gonna go out tonight. I need to like play fighting games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, we haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. Sorry, man, can't come out tonight. I gotta run a set. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And like, it's okay to sometimes do that, right? Because like, you do want to practice and you do have to make a time commitment. But like, you gotta take care of yourself too. And also, like anyone who ever got sponsored, like, pro gamers didn't just like start like being like, oh, like I've just always only played video games. That's been my only responsibility. No one's been that, because like even if they were like high school kids, they still had to go to fucking school and shit. You know what I mean? So like I mean, again, if you're trying to like go that route, also like playing Skullgirls is the wrong fucking way, my guy. You gotta be good at some non-poverty games. Get good at Fortnite or something.
Is there prize money in Fortnite?
I think there's an esports scene for Fortnite. I don't think it's like very well supported, but I'm assuming if you're good at Fortnite, you can like make money if you're on those like esports streams.
This might just be me, but I've always considered quote unquote poverty games to be games where there's no money. And I feel like Fortnite, even though it has the biggest goddamn cult following, I mean, I call it a cult, but like it's got a huge fucking crowd of people playing it. It's still a poverty game. There's no money there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know a dude who at UCLA, he was on the UCLA collegiate team. He was a challenger player, top 50 player, and he literally like spent his entire fucking time I think he almost flunked out because all he did was play League of Legends, and he was one of the best League of Legends players in North America, like for sure. And then he got caught up in a cheating scandal, got banned, and like I don't know if he ever finished his degree because I wasn't like super close with him. I just knew him. I saw him around sometimes. I think I saw him at like one party. And like I was like, oh shit, your League of Legends career didn't pan out. I don't know how on track you are for your degree, but from what I hear you talk about, it doesn't sound like you're on track for your degree. Like, do you have the money to fucking like get your life back on track now because you spent like all your time playing League of Legends?
Yeah.
Like,
this is like a fundamental rule in like just survival in general, but it's mostly used like in terms of investment. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't invest all your time in one thing, because that makes you a fool.
Yeah, and if you feel like that, like you want to be the best, but also like you're feeling like your time is like, like you don't have the time to do this shit or whatever, like you just got to be better than the people who came before you. Then, man, like that's the only other option, right? Is like if you want to like not just go full hog into something, but you still want to like go after it, you have to just like you have to be better in some regard, and you have to work to be better in some regard.
All right, it's 6:13. I gotta go. I got plans.
Yeah, I gotta run some fucking errands and.
Wait, did you have dry cleaning to get done? What happened to that?
Yeah, close it at 5. I got like 2 hours.
What time is it here? Oh wait, that's right. It starts like 2 in Cali, right?
It's 3:13 right now.
3:13. Oh, holy shit! It starts at 1 in Cali. No, it starts in 2.
I guess. I mean, I woke up early today, even though I went to sleep at like 4 last night. Just fucking booling.
You can only pick a few eggs. You gotta hope those eggs are good. Absolutely not. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a greedy son of a bitch. Like, if there are 20 things I want to do, I will find a way to get those 20 things done. Like, it's...
I was voted most likely to suck eggs in high school.
That's... nice.
Do you not get that one? It's a SpongeBob reference.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Squidward Tentacles was voted most likely to suck eggs in high school. Do you really not know that shit?
I don't watch SpongeBob. I hate SpongeBob.
I definitely listen to something like this. Don't get used to this, man. I'm not around a lot. This is like one of the weekends I happen to be free.
If you do want to hear more of Kenji, then make sure you follow his SoundCloud and...
I have something on my SoundCloud now. I have one song.
What the fuck? No, that doesn't work anymore then.
Yeah, soundcloud.com/KenTheG. I have like a chiptune sort of song on there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Chiptunes? Why? You play guitar.
I don't have an interface, and I was just noodling around one night in Boston, and then it kind of like came out, and so I was like, oh, this is kind of decent. Like I'm still, there's things that change about it, but like I'm kind of happy overall with the product, which is weird for me because I'm usually never happy with any artistic output I have. So, and then I showed it, and I actually like, showed it to people, and they seem to like, again, it's never going to be anyone's like favorite song, but I think people are like, oh, this is like worth listening to.
Nice.
Someone said it sounds like Chrono Trigger music, and I don't know. I've never played Chrono Trigger, but I don't think it sounds like that because I hear that has like a jazz fusion like soundtrack, and that's not what this is.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is very jazz fusion-y. I really thought about it, but yeah.
I've never played Chrono Trigger, so I don't know. But it sounds like video game music for like a Zelda copy game, is how I'd typify it. So actually, yeah, let me legit plug my SoundCloud like a real fucking animal right now.
We're actually doing this shit.
See, I don't even know how the fucking like URL is spelled correctly. So this is like
we went from like complete satire to you actually plugging your SoundCloud.
Dude, I've had this SoundCloud since like fucking high school because I made it as a joke. Because like when we would toast to shit in college, like there was some fucking weird joke. We were all fucking drunk, it's not actually that funny. But I'd keep saying soundcloud.com/KenTheG. And then I was like, I actually just made the SoundCloud so I could squat the URL. And then I made this song and I'm like, I like this song. Oh shit. I have a SoundCloud.
All right, you go ahead and plug your shit. I'm gonna wrap things up here. I gotta head out.
SoundCloud.com/KenTheG in the chat.
It's in the chat. Boy. It's on stream. It's recorded. It's permanently gonna be shared for the rest of history.
Yeah,
I guess.
Make me famous. I need the face tattoo money.
Jesus Christ. Would you ever? Okay. Is there anything you would ever tattoo onto your face?
If I could change careers, yeah.
Fair.
Like if I could start dancing full time, maybe. If I get a face tattoo, I'll never get hired in finance again. No one will ever hire me with a face tattoo.
Well, of course, but it's also just like it's such a huge fucking like I am committed kind of thing. Like you don't hide a face tattoo. It's just there and it's gonna be there forever.
Yeah. The main problem is too that like I want to go to Japan a lot, like see my family and shit, and like go to onsen, especially in like northern Japanese culture, is very like a pretty big part. And so like
face tattoos aren't gonna.
Oh, I mean any tattoos is the thing. That's the thing that's kept me from getting like tattoos on my shoulders and shit too. If
you put it on your like bicep or whatever, or like your deltoid or whatever, like it's not. No one's gonna see that shit.
Yeah, but like, well, if I got tattoos, I get them on my shoulders. But also like, I'm like constantly scraping the fuck out of my body all the damn time, so like they wouldn't last.
Oh.
My shoulders like super scarred up, and like, so like every time I cut my shoulders, I have to get like a tattoo retouch, and it look like shit. And like, so like I just don't like, I wouldn't be able to like commit to it, right? Because like I wouldn't take care of it. Some of my crewmates have tattoos though, and some of them look good and some of them look really bad. I accidentally shaded this guy on in Boston for his tattoo though.
Accidentally.
So he was breaking and his shirt came up and there was like red. So it was Chinese characters. It was some like white or Middle Eastern dude, and it looked really red. And I was like, oh shit, man, are you okay? Did you come here with new ink or did you like split something open? Like what's going on? And like, cause it looked like, cause it wasn't shiny, but it looked red, like it was new or like it was irritated or something. I was like, I don't want, if he has an infection, you shouldn't be like rubbing his, chest on the ground or nothing. And then he's like, oh no, sorry, man, this is my first tattoo, so it just has a red outline and looks like shit. And I'm like, oh, it sounds like I was like fucking like giving him some sort of like fucking shade about it.
Oh shit. Oh damn.
Yeah. I didn't mean to.
You seem to have like realized that you weren't throwing shade, so like whatever.
Yeah, no, I was like, yo, sorry, man. Like I really just saw red until I thought you were like something was going on or anything. And he's like, nah, man, don't worry about it. Like, he was cool about it, but like I felt bad. You know what I mean? Like
breaking etiquette. For reals though, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.